So let's come to Brian Ropar's house. Past the railroad track, pipeline markers, the tree that drops orange cones on the street, the Roperville water tower, power line tower, train whistles, plastic chairs, dining car sign, all the good. So when I mentioned the railroad track, here it is. It comes back here, past the track line equipment, gauge to find the banking, back here, past the locomotive, through the tunnel, past the hot tub, through the tunnel, over here to the switch track, come this way, clearance markers on the track so you know you're clear of passing trains. It's going to go up there like this. Pretty much we got our, what could I say, pole saw, medium vegetation, small vegetation, tiny vegetation, pickup for cutting trees and everything, fire circle. Yeah, it's kind of a fire circle there. And we'll throw this switch here and come up here past the clearance point there. White ties for drainage and into the tunnel. So we'll come out of the tunnel up here. Come out of the tunnel. Massive trip hazard in there. Past the telegraph poles. Cover that in a second. Drainage tie. Still on the siding. Drainage ties. Water's going to flow to the lowest point. Up here. Past the two clearance ties. And we'll switch onto the upper loop. Lower loop, upper loop. Signal bridge comes up here. Past this trip hazard. Past this trip hazard here. How do you do it not fall? I'm just gifted, as I would say. On the upper loop. Past the outdoor climbing gym. Past the underground pole. We'll cover the power line in a second. And up to the upper loop. And we're on the upper loop. This will be a red and green signal here. Yellow's going to have to be on the signal bridge for the tunnel on the upper loop. Eventually we'll get all these signals working and up. Still on the upper loop. Pretty nasty kink there, it needs fixed. This will all be level, built up about 18 inches or so. And back to the switch track. And that's not the other thing. We got the Brian Roper power line. The overhead here, underground there, going to that shed. You can see how that's working. Past the bend pole. You can see how I did that. The underground's going to go from there to the shed over there. Past the power factor with hanging lightning arrestor. Just a spark gap that protects it from lightning. The voltage should be higher than the nominal voltage. Shunt fuse upper to protect the capacitor from lightning strikes over voltages. Should I say overloads. And back in the fence. Past the corner pole they put in here. Single phase, back to three phase. 12,470, three phase, 7,200 volts to ground, hanging lightning arrestor, sectionalizer pole, fly wires, there's your quick voltage chart there. You can see this is all coming along out here. No idling diesel powered vehicles, over 5 tons. And you can see how this is coming along. But let's go to the basement. Down the basement. What do we got down here? Here's all the electric supplies, electric training room, everything. Here's the parts. I tell you what, these are all the parts I have on hand for that entire thing out there. That's the only stash of parts I have for all that. Past this, cover that in a second. Over here we're going to have a rock climbing wall for rubber mulch from the basement to the attic. We'll cover that in a second. Got a bunch of yoga balls, here's my bicycle. All the stuff I'd ever need, my extra shoes. Rifle range in the basement for .177 lead pellets. Cover that in a second. Past these parts. This is my 1.177 pellet gun collection over here. We got bows, hockey sticks, golf clubs, baseball bats, cart to ride on around the basement, cones, pretty much all the sportsman stuff you'd ever need. This is my projects design table, workbench, tools, and who could forget the plastic chair collection. We got pretty much every plastic chair the mankind's ever created down here. Including school chairs, some metal chairs, various things like that. Here's my writing and music stage. Pretty much every instrument you could ever think of. I do pretty much have the skills to do everything, pretty much everything over here. I mean, we got pretty much everything. Designing desk. Oh, the violin on the ceiling. Yeah, one more sorter coil, electromagnet. Get us on air. We got mechanical frets you pull on the strings. stereo, CDs. I mean, you can pretty much see Dragon natural speaking software, crystal set. I mean, you can see pretty much everything. So right here is my pipe organ project. I'm basically going to build a 30-foot bass tube, run all the way to the attic, and we'll have a massive pipe organ. How I'm going to do this is, I got this contractor bags. I cut the ends off the ones in the middle, and we'll put 2 on each end to seal it, and we'll make a giant cylinder out of the contractor bags. And then with some spray adhesive, I'm going to wrap some newspaper around it. And I'm just going to make a giant 30-foot by 4 to 6 foot cardboard tube. I mean, you can see how I'm going to do that. So basically we'll just blow this up like a balloon and roll a 30-foot tube. And we'll have an organ pipe. I say we should go 1/28 and make the organ pipe go from there to an elbow to there in the house up in the attic. 100-foot long pipe. Man, when he keyed that thing, man, it shook that ground. And now we come into the bedroom. Should I say utility room, train station, observatory for stars and planets, climbing gym, because we're going to have a trapdoor here that goes to the basement. And as you can see, I've removed the ceiling in here. My bed's up there on the loft for now. This room is not quite done yet. So basically we got pretty much everything you ever imagine. Tools, ladders. There's my airplane gun up there with my airplane tie. Yeah, I made that. Here's my whips and lassos. Capacitors, neon sign transformers, random parts. Tools, books, NASCAR gas can. Yeah, some stuff there. Pretty much everything you ever imagine. We got rappelling rope. We got dynamic rope for the rock climbing wall. This is all going to go up there when this is done. I got this rope for the tree outside, harness for the tree outside. This more rope, figure 8, another belt there. A couple outfits. Horseshoe curve, National Historic Landmark. Oh, the ceiling fan. Stupidity, rumors, negativity, laziness, until it hits the fan. LED lights, utility poles in here. HO scale layout around the ceiling. Clothes for the model train, but let's go up in the loft. So I'm up here in my new bedroom loft. You can see we got some construction signs there to build this back wall. I have to do the framing and drywalling up here still. But anyhow, I can put this roof in. And basically we're gonna have a loft up here and you can see the view from up here. There's my locomotive sitting up here for the train station. I got my Romex and all my parts sitting there to wire this place. I got my Newton, Einstein, and chemistry ties hanging up here for this telescope that I could just lay in bed and look at the stars. So basically we have a telescope. But this is going to be a massive NASA grade telescope that I can look through. I mean, I got my construction signs up here to build the wall with, but eventually these floor joists and everything are going to be removed, and I'm just going to have this all open, and there'll be drywall and insulation everywhere up here, which is kind of hot up here. And you can pretty much see how I've been doing this. I mean, you can see where the climbing wall is going to go from here to the basement. And you can pretty much see how this is going down. I can lay in bed and play with the model train, which will go on the ceiling. And I can just hop on here, ride the model train through the attic, through a door over there, and I can just ride across the bridge to my upper loop and just ride the model railroad all day. I mean, you can pretty much see how this is going down. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Stay tuned for more videos coming into the bathroom. Yeah. Thomas Crapper. I tell you what, that'll inspire you on a daily basis. I'm not gonna lie. Oh yeah. Yep, I made that. Yep, exactly. Mm-hmm.